Hello, everyone. Welcome to my MPA 593 discussion board presentation. I have chosen intimate partner violence as a social cause and how law enforcement does not do enough to protect those who are victims of intimate partner violence or provide enough resources to remove the barriers of the victim situation. I chose this social cause because I lost a close friend due to intimate partner violence at a very young age, which changed my perspective of realizing that any individual can be a victim. I think majority of women say to themselves that they would never be in this type of situation. However, at the end of the day, no one really knows what they would do if this happened to them, especially if children are involved. My friend was not someone who I thought would ever be in an intimate partner violence situation. And unfortunately, in my line of work, I also work with many parents who are victims of intimate partner violence. And they continue to struggle with leaving their situation due to various systemic barriers. This social issue impacts women, children. It also impacts men. And ultimately, it impacts the family and friends of those who have lost loved ones due to intimate partner violence or who are just struggling going through intimate partner violence. This issue is important in the community because dangerous behaviors that lead to intimate partner violence can cause behaviors in the home to be extreme, especially with children, and it can cause trauma to the everyday lives, school performance, and future relationships. It's also important to the community because the community is supposed to be people looking out for each other, but sometimes community members or even family or friends don't know how to help in these situations, or they will look the other way because they do not want to get involved. I think if a community can be educated on what signs to look for, what to do if someone asks for help, and what resources they can provide, then it'll strengthen the community members to pressure local law enforcement agencies and potentially local officials to take intimate partner violence more seriously. The most serious thing that can happen is loss of life to the victims, and this can include anything from women, children, and family members who potentially live in the home. This can also include a loss of life to the perpetrator themselves because sometimes they do take their own lives. Other issues or longer issues or effects that can happen are trauma. Children being exposed at a young age. This can make them believe that intimate partner violence is what a healthy relationship is supposed to look like, even though it was not something they enjoyed watching their parents go through. It can also create low self-esteem for the child or the individual. For the child, poor school performance and limited communication skills. It could also produce unhealthy coping skills as they get older. The statistics show that 1 in 4 women will experience physical violence by their intimate partners at some point in their lives. It also shows that over 1,500 deaths per year are due to intimate partner violence. And it also shows that 20 individuals are being physically abused every minute by their intimate partners. And it also shows that anywhere from 3.3 million to 10 million children witness intimate partner violence. And it actually reports that boys who witness intimate partner violence are twice as likely to continue this cycle when they're older with their partners. Even though that's a lot of data and statistics, there's a lot of underreporting, which means that that's not the whole total amount of everything that's going on. Um, and people should care about this because if the data reports that 1 in 4 women are experiencing this, then it makes you believe that maybe someone you know is already going through this or has gone through this. And there's a good chance that that is happening, and it's important because we as individuals in the community should know what to be able to, like I said, like look for, understand the resources, know what we can do. And sometimes that's hard to do in our community because we don't know. I think if people had more awareness about intimate partner violence, then it would, potentially provide that pressure to the local law enforcement when they're called out to the home to assess the safety of the victims. Be able to easily provide accessible resources that can still ensure the safety of the family without setting another barrier to their existing situation. The reality is that there's a good chance that it's already happening to someone we know. But the other thing is that providing any type of informational, educational awareness, such as places like schools or community centers. I think this would help push for a change in a local community. Thank you, everyone.